I often say that people who should have imposter syndrome often don't. And the people who do, they really shouldn't. Have you ever felt like everyone around you has got it all together while you're stuck doubting yourself even though you're putting in all the work? If so, this video is for you. In the next 10 or so minutes, I'll tell you how you can turn your imposter syndrome into a superpower. Now, the reason I say that people who should have imposter syndrome often don't is because they tend to be bad at their craft, but they make up for it in many other ways. How many artists do you know that are doing well, but you think their work sucks? How many managers have you had that have gotten promotion after promotion, but you could do their work better than they can? What they lack in craft, they make up in marketing. They put themselves out there. They allow themselves to fail, and they adapt quickly and do better next time. That's what us imposters are missing. We don't take action. We don't do the damn thing. By the end of this video, you'll have 3 powerful strategies to turn doubt into confidence. And when you do, you'll be unstoppable. Here's the harsh truth. If you don't overcome imposter syndrome, you'll spend years stuck on the sidelines. Your sketchbooks will gather dust, your ideas will stay hidden, and the creative life you deserve will remain out of reach. You'll never feel good enough to take the next step. And that means you'll never get to see how truly capable you actually are. And productive procrastination isn't an excuse, because the moment you start acting, you'll realize that you're more than ready. Before I get into that though, if you're new here, I'm Karan, and I usually help rigid rookies transform into loose liners and loose liners into expressive experts. But sometimes I make videos like this one that talks about having a pro artist mindset. 1. Imposters often grow as creatives faster than others. Does this sound familiar? You spend a lot of time on YouTube watching and learning from artists, or you read books about how to turn your art into a business and learn all of the best practices and techniques. Well, I have some good news. Those habits will separate you from everyone else because you really care about what you're doing. You're willing to step outside of your comfort zone and put in the time to become a better artist. But here's where imposter syndrome can backfire. Productive procrastination. You're learning, sure, but you're also using it as an excuse for inaction. You're watching videos, reading articles, studying techniques, but you're not actually doing the thing. You're not sketching original works, you're not going out on location, you're not sharing your works for others to gain inspiration from. No amount of learning can replace the experience of taking action. When you take action, when you do the damn thing, you'll realize something. Even if your first sketch is rough, or you feel like your project isn't good enough, the fact that you did this is a win. Every time you take action, whether it's finishing a sketch, uploading a video, or sharing your work, you're pushing past self-doubt. And that's when you realize you were ready all along, and the next steps get a hell of a lot easier. Readiness comes after action. Always. Here's why taking action is key. 1, it keeps you learning. Feeling like an imposter forces you to constantly seek improvement, pushing you to learn more. 2, taking action builds confidence over time. The more you act, the more you realize you were ready all along, and your confidence will grow based on real achievements and progress. 3, action drives creativity. When you push through self-doubt, you're more likely to explore unconventional ideas, which lead to creative breakthroughs and innovative solutions. I want you to do something for me. Pick a project you've been putting off because you didn't feel qualified to do it. It doesn't have to be anything artistic. It could be a job application. You'll realize one of these 2 things: that you were capable all along, or you'll learn something from this experience. The second reason why imposter syndrome is a superpower is that imposters are more self-aware and resilient. So now that you've taken action, you're growing, you're learning, you're building confidence. That's a great first step. But to take things to the next level, you'll need to do more than just grow. You'll need to become self-aware and resilient. Being good at something is one thing, but recognizing where you can improve and having the toughness to handle those improvements, that's what's going to set you apart. Here's where imposter syndrome can actually be useful. It makes you hyper-aware of your weaknesses. But if you don't handle it right, that awareness can stop you from even trying. Now you might think, why should I even bother if I'll never be as good as insert an artist here? But self-awareness, when used correctly, can be your roadmap to becoming better. So, how do you turn that awareness into strength? You embrace it, and you push through the discomfort. Here's how self-awareness levels you up. 1, it helps you spot the gaps. You can see your own gaps in knowledge and skills, which gives you the clarity on what to improve. 2, it creates resilience. Every time you push through your doubts, you're proving to yourself that you can handle the discomfort, and that resilience builds up over time. 3. It encourages humility. Imposter syndrome keeps you grounded, reminding you that there's always something more to learn. Staying humble ensures you'll never stop growing. Now here's what I want you to do in this section. Identify one area where you feel weak, whether it's a skill or a project. Start working on it in small steps. Over time, this builds up not just your skills, but your resilience. The third reason why imposter syndrome is your superpower is that it builds connections through action. So now that you've embraced growth and you're self-aware and resilient, you're well on your way. But here's the thing, you can't do this by yourself. To really take your progress to the next level, you need to get out there and connect with people. You need feedback. You need to share your work. Imposter syndrome thrives in isolation. But once you build connections, it loses its power. Imposter syndrome is a trap. It makes you want to hide. You feel like you're a fraud, so you don't want to put your work out there. You convince yourself that others will see you for the fraud that you think you are. And this kind of thinking keeps you stuck. If you're too scared to share your work, you'll never get the feedback you need to grow. The moment you start putting yourself out there, you'll quickly realize that most people have the same doubts. Plus, they'll give you the feedback that you actually need to help you improve. Here's how sharing your work will help you excel. 1. It shows passion. If you feel like an imposter, that means that you care deeply about the quality of the work that you create. That passion is infectious and will pull people towards you. 2. It makes you relatable. Being open about your struggles makes you more approachable and helps you connect with others going through the same thing. 3. It builds motivation. The more you share your work and get feedback, the more confident and motivated you become to keep improving. Here's what I want you to do. Share something right now and tag me in it. Post your project, your drawing, a video, anything you've been holding back on. Ask for feedback. Not only will you improve, but you'll also connect with others who are on a similar journey. And if you tag me, I will give you feedback. So here's the big takeaway. We're all imposters, but that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's what drives us to keep learning and growing. The people who are less in their head and take action tend to do better than those that are stuck in the cycle of self-doubt. So next time imposter syndrome creeps up on you, don't let it freeze you. Use it. It's your superpower. Push through the doubt, take action, seek feedback, and remember, the moment you lose your imposter syndrome and start taking action, you'll realize that you're not only qualified, but you're actually pretty damn good at what you do. Drop a comment below and let me know what's one thing you've been holding off on because of imposter syndrome. What are you going to do to take action today? Now, normally, I tell you to watch these 2 videos on how to overcome perfectionism and the fear of failure. But remember, you're not supposed to be doing productive procrastination. So go out there and do the damn thing. You've got this.